guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jessica Duffy here with Jessica Duffy Beauty. I know it's been a little while. I'm so sorry. If you guys are following me on any bit of social media, then you probably know that I've been working a ton. Anyway, I've been promising you guys a review on the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette from his summer collection, as well as the highlighter that I purchased. So if you guys are interested, then keep on watching. So obviously I did foundation, powder, bronzer, blush, eyebrows. The only thing on my base that I did not do, and we'll go ahead and do this first, is highlighter. I just want to let you guys know that since I have had both of these products for almost 2 weeks now, it'll be 2 weeks on Wednesday that I have tested them out. I know, forgive me. I have tested them out. Can I just say really quickly, I'm going to interrupt myself. It feels really weird to record and not be able to see what the camera is recording, because I've recorded on my phone this entire time that I've had a channel. I'm able to see my reflection. I'm able to see that I'm in focus, that I'm in frame, so it just feels weird. I'm looking directly into camera and I don't know what it's recording, so if I seem a little odd, that's probably why. The highlighter that I purchased is from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It's the Supreme Frost in the shade Diamond Wet. I will go ahead and swatch this for you. It is absolutely stunning. Honestly, just by the name, you would expect it to be kind of a damp, cushiony feel. It is not. It feels like a powder, like a glittery powder. The retail price on this particular product and the other two shades of the Supreme Frost are $32 a piece. I do know that a lot of the products on the Jeffree Star Cosmetics website did sell out shortly after the launch of this collection. However, Jeffree Star also sells his products on the Morphe website, in Morphe stores. I know that Beauty Bay or Beauty Lash, I get the two mixed up a lot. One of them also sells his products as well. So those are just three options if you guys were looking at purchasing something from the collection but you feel like they were sold out. Definitely look around, because the Jeffree Star website is not the only place that you can purchase the ink. I brought down two different brushes. I'll apply one brush one side, other brush the other side, so you guys can get a feel for different texture. I'm going to go in with this Morphe M310, and I'm just really going to coat the brush. And if you guys can see, that glitter is flying everywhere. When I watched Tati Westbrook's review of this highlighter, I thought that it looked stunning, and it could have been her lights, it could have been her skin, it could have been a lot of things. It looked just like the exact goal of what I would go for in a highlighter is for my skin to look wet and not glittery. And if that's what you're looking for as well, this is not going to be for you. This particular formula is extremely glittery. Like, I see large flecks of glitter everywhere. I'm going to take the Morphe JH09 highlighter brush in the same, and I'm going to go on the other cheek. Now, I've told you guys before, this cheekbone, I think it's this one, yeah, this one tends to pop a little bit harder because it's a lot more pronounced, so consider that as well while you're watching me apply this. But it is stunning, don't get me wrong, but I would not suggest putting this on the Cupid's bow, because I've done that a few times and it left specks of glitter and it just looked really unkept and really just not what I'm going for. Not your typical highlighter. This is still stunning, don't get me wrong, but I would not suggest going on the Cupid's bow with it, or maybe even the nose. Do you see the specks of glitter? I don't know if my lighting will pick that up for you guys, but what I really like to do with this particular highlighter is go on the body with it, because this is like perfect for festival season, perfect for concerts, going out. Of the two brushes that I've applied it with, I prefer going with this one because it's more dense, more fluffy. This one, it's more for a subtle kind of look, but if you're going to go in with a glittery highlighter, then this is just going to be all bad, because it's going to put like a couple specks here, a couple specks there. It's not going to be nearly as pronounced and defined as maybe you're looking for. If you guys can see a difference, I'll kind of move around from this side to this side. These are the two separate brushes that I used. But yeah, I love the color. The texture doesn't feel as soft as it may look in the pan. The name, I think, may make people kind of believe that it's more of a wet texture when it really is not. Now we're going to move on to the star of the show, the Jawbreaker palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I've just got to say that this is beautiful packaging, very luxe. It feels extremely weighted. You want to look on the inside. Oops, I dipped into a color. It has a beautiful large mirror. It also comes with, let's see, 6 times 4 guys, 24 shades. And honestly, I will say that looking at this online and looking at this in other YouTube videos, it doesn't do it justice. This is so much more beautiful in person than I could ever explain to you guys. I have done my base, so what we're going to go ahead and do is prime with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is something that I would typically do with any other palette. I would suggest always just going in with what you normally would. That way you know the product, you know it's not going to fail you. I'm just going to take my Beauty Blender, the side that I did not put any powder on with, and I'm going to pat and kind of tap out any creases that may have formed. Alright, we are prepped and we are primed. So I think what I want to do is really go into these kind of pastel beautiful colors up in here, if you guys can see that. I like the shade Cute. This one, I'm just going to say it, I don't like to cuss on my channel, but this one is called Fuck. So the first shade that I want to go in with, let's go in with Gumdrop. I'm really digging that color. So I'm going to just take a JH32. It's just kind of like a fluffy tapered brush, nothing too fancy. As I'm going into this, it's definitely a little bit powdery. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to take it in as much as I can. I can't see what the camera is seeing, unfortunately, but you know, we will. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit powdery, but it's to be expected. I wouldn't call that ABH subculture powdery, but it is, so just be aware. So we're just going to go ahead and lay that down into the crease. And I am just working evenly from inner to outer corner, because I think what I want to do is try to do some form of a cut crease so we can implement as many colors as possible. So far, you guys, this is blending like a dream. Like, I don't have very much on, but that just practically blended itself. I'm also just taking it into the outer V. That's a beautiful color. Again, that's the kind of lilac shade Gumdrop. It is slightly powdery, I'm not going to lie, but I'm not having a bit of trouble blending. The thing about powderiness that people tend to complain about, and why they complain about it, that I have found, is because it tends to leave a lot of balding and patching. Like, as you blend, you start to see some lifting in certain spots. For instance, go back and watch any YouTube review of the Subculture palette by ABH. That will be a perfect example. But this is not blending, or this is not having a bit of trouble blending at all so far. So far, so good. I like that. So what I want to do is take the same brush. No, I'm going to take the larger, the Beast Mode blender, the JH30, and I'm going to go into the shade Cute. This beautiful kind of teal turquoise color. Like I said, I want to stay within the pastel range. That one is also quite powdery, you guys. You can see that it's smoking off into the air, but I mean, it is what it is. They're eyeshadows, and sometimes you have to sacrifice powderiness for pigmentation and vice versa. And I'm just kind of blending that a little bit higher over the shade Gumdrop to kind of create an ombre kind of look and let them blend into each other. Going back into that same shade Cute, just building that up above Gumdrop. I really like these colors together. I'm going back in with that same JH32 with whatever was left. I didn't add anything, but I'm just like blending. Not any harsh lines. Alright, so to kick it up a notch, I want to go into that shade Soaked, that really bright, vibrant blue. It's just speaking to me. I honestly don't think that I could get into this palette and not touch that color. I know I kind of am doing my makeup just to wash it all off, but like I said, I've been dying to film for you guys. I'm going in with the JH33, just a smaller kind of, it's more flat kind of crease definer brush. Not definer, but you know what I mean. The ones that I initially went in with are more round and fluffy and loose and kind of give a light wash. This, on the other hand, gives more of a packed pigment. I really like this color. It's like a full-on cobalt blue. And I'm going to focus that in the outer corner first, just kind of patting back and forth. Oh, wow. That is a stunning color. Really focusing that on the outer V. I'm going to try and focus it on the outer portion as well as the inner portion, because I think I just decided I'm going to do a halo. Surprise, surprise, but just with the way that this has turned out, this color, I'm really liking how vibrant and deep that is. Sometimes it's hard to get that deepness. I'm going back in with the JH32 just to kind of lightly graze over any of those edges to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines. That's stunning, you guys. Absolutely stunning. Alright, I'm going to go into the other eye. Anyway, I'm literally in love with that color. It was the color Soaked right here. So I think what I want to do is go in with the shade Fuck right here. It's just beautiful. It's kind of like a neon coral. Very unique. I don't think I've ever seen that color before. I will say that in some of the reviews that I've watched, this looked a lot more pink on camera, and it's a lot more corally, orangey undertone in person. And this doesn't seem to be nearly as powdery as the others. Still quite powdery, don't get me wrong, but not as bad. And I'm going in with that on a JH40, just on the lower lash line here. I'm going to try and pack that on. Well, I was going to, but honestly, I hardly touched that. Do you see how vibrant that is? Holy crap, that's stunning. I think it's a good technique to do eyes first before your base if you're somebody who worries about messing with their base, or if you're somebody who doesn't really, you know, they don't have as much experience when it comes to their base. But for the purpose of this video, you know, it looks better when the whole base is done and then I'm doing eyeshadow, if that makes sense. It's just an aesthetic thing. I'm just kind of taking that JH33 and just lightly grazing the outer V where that shade Fuck and the shade Soaked kind of meet. I'm going back into Fuck because I just want to make sure that it's as concentrated as possible. That is a stunning shade. I can absolutely see myself going through this one. I think I'm going to hit pan on this one. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to take the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer as well as my Bare Escuentials Max Coverage Concealer Brush. I use this every single time for a cut crease and or halo eye because the shape of it is perfect for that. The round tip right there, you don't even really have to work at creating the line. The shape of the brush will do it for you. So I just took some on the back of my hand and I'm really dabbing. What I'm going to do is just tap. Now I'm going to take the JH41 and I'm going to go right into that shade Jawbreaker. It's absolutely stunning. It's kind of like a duochrome, like gold white shift almost, and it's gorgeous. Just taking that on my flat brush and I'm really gonna just like pack that. What I'm gonna do is go back in with the JH33 with what had the shade suck on it, and I'm gonna like blend out those edges. All I'm doing is blending out those edges. That color Jawbreaker is absolutely stunning. I'm blending out the edges with that shade Soaked, the blue. Honestly, I feel like the concealer that I used might be sabotaging this look. It might have been too matte and too chunky. This Can't Stop, Won't Stop NYX concealer is a very thick matte formula. So if you're thinking about doing a look like this, I would suggest going in with a thinner consistency. I thought that that would help me in the end, but in reality, it might have ruined the look, but that's okay. We're testing out the shadows, and that's what matters, and honestly, these shadows are beautiful, and with the exception of the concealer, blend absolutely stunning. In order to even out the eye, I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Alright, I'm going to go back in with the JH33 with that shade Soaked like I did on the other eye, and just blend, blend, blend. The reason why we do this is because we don't want those blunt, harsh lines where the concealer stops and the other eyeshadow shade begins, if you know what I mean. You won't ever have this trouble blending the way that I am. I think it's just the concealer. So everything about this concealer I have not liked. It dried out my eyes. That's why it's still a full tube. I don't like it. I grabbed it because I thought that the matte formula would be better, but instead it is literally sabotaging this look. I'm going back in with Jawbreaker because I think I washed out a lot of that color. So what I'm going to do, we're going to move on. I'm going to take the JH39, just like a little pencil brush, and I'm going to go right into that shade. Wow. I was going to do Lemon Drop, but yeah, you know what? Let's do Lemon Drop. Let's do a shimmer. You can tell I am a makeup just whore, like I'm all about, that might have been a bad choice of word. I just love makeup that much. By the way, I'm taking the Morphe Felt Tip Liquid Liner in the shade Ink. It's just a basic black. If you struggle with getting a perfect line, don't go straight in like this. Lay your felt tip or brush or whatever it may be to the side and use the shape of the brush to your advantage. It might sound very, juvenile and obvious, but if you think about it, a lot of people, when they're nervous to go do something, or at least me, I feel like they try to go in super quickly about it as opposed to taking their time. And that is a recipe for disaster. Pretty. Alright, you guys, I'm really liking this. I'm just going to take my Ulta Beauty, the cream eyeshadow in the shade Naked Truth. It's an eyeshadow and a liner, but I really love the color of this. You can use any nude, any white, or whatever. The whole goal of using a light color as opposed to a brown or a black is that it opens the eye. When you put a dark one in, like a brown or even a black, it doesn't matter how big your eyes are, it's really just going to close your eyes off. So you just have to learn how to work with color, work with shadow. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. I set everything before I started this video with my Morphe Prep-In set, so that is why I'm not spraying. I typically would spray after eyeshadow, one, to make it last longer, but two, because I like when my eyelashes are wet and pliable, and then I go in and curl them. I feel, it may not be correct, but I kind of feel like it makes the curl hold longer. Maybe that's all in my head, but... And remember, when you're curling your lashes, don't rest this bar on your face because you will leave an imprint. Still one of my... This and the Lash Paradise are my two all-time favorite mascaras and probably always will be. This is more of like an everyday kind of lengthen and maintains curls, but the Lash Paradise, it does those things, but it thickens them and makes them look more like false lashes. This just really spaces them out and it doesn't make them look clumpy. That would be my only gripe with the Lash Paradise, is if you're not properly cleaning the wand and all of that, as the tube gets a little bit older, it can get a little bit clumpy, so you just have to be very aware. I'm going to go in with lips while we're talking and chatting. I made a joke about myself, about how when I did the drugstore versus high-end, I did not have a drugstore dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, or I just didn't have a drugstore lip liner in general. Well, I fixed that really fast. I went out to Walmart or Kroger, and I picked this Milani Color Statement lip liner up for, I think it was like $2 or $3 in the shade 03 Nude. That's it. And it's beautiful. Oh crap, I haven't really sharpened it, but it's just a really pretty nude. Clearly I use it a lot though. I'm afraid to go through this honestly, because it's a $22 lip liner. Yeah, shame me in the comments, I know. I moisturized with my Brazilian Kiss lip balm at the beginning of the video, and then I wiped it off. Not only taking it on the outer edge, but I'm also filling in the lip. I'm just going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW right in the center. Alright, you guys, that is about it for this look. For the review of this palette, the fact that I've had this for 2 weeks and I've literally only used, the only shades that I've used before I filmed this was Cone, Virgin, and Wow. And that's not true. I also used Jawbreaker. I didn't use it, I swatched it. I looked at it and I was like, I have to swatch that. But honestly, I am thoroughly impressed. I have not used any of his other products, so I cannot compare, like I said. But if you are somebody who loves makeup, who wants and needs one good palette and then never has to buy another one, honestly, for the amount of shades that you're getting and for how amazing the JSC formula is, I think that this would absolutely be worth it. And another option for you is that not only on the JSC website, the Morphe website, and then I've not been to Beauty Bay or Beautylish, whichever one it is, but on the other 2 websites that I just mentioned, there's something called Afterpay. You can purchase something for a minimum of a certain amount of price. I think it's like $30. And if you purchase one or multiple items for above that minimum price, your payment option can be Afterpay, which redirects you when you say, yes, I want to order it, and instead of paying right then and there with your credit card, you say, yes, I want to do Afterpay. And what they do is they split up your payment of $58 into 3 or 4, like, what is it, $15 payments over the course of 1 week, or I'm sorry, every other week is what it is. So you could pick this up, you could pick up the Brain Freeze, you could pick this up, you could pick up everything in the collection if you wanted to, and you don't have to pay the full amount right then and there. You do, however, have to give your personal information, and you have to put a card on file in order for them to bill you every other week. But just know that if you're somebody who's like, I need it, I gotta have it, you can get it. You don't have to pay the full amount. That is an option. Like I said, you can purchase it at Morphe website, Morphe stores, JSC website. Beauty Bay is what I want to say it is, because Beautylish is the other one. That's it. As far as this, do I think it's worth $32? No. I think it's beautiful. You could probably find dupes out there, but would you want to? If you're not a glitter person, probably not. There are millions of other beautiful highlighters out there. I don't think you need this. I'm a little bit disappointed, honestly. I think the color is stunning, and I think that the wet look that it gives is stunning, but it's just, the glitter's too much for me. That's all it is. It's just too much. And I think it's a beautiful color. I think that it's something I'm going to use it because I spent $32 on it, so don't get me wrong, but it is what it is. Anyway, that is it, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this new setup. I'm gonna have to roll back through and watch the video, obviously, to edit it. So yeah, if I like it, obviously this video will be posted. So if you guys have any suggestions, if you have any questions, please comment down below. I love you guys so much. Please subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys next time.